Okay, I was asked to do a video of my Harbor Freight lift, so I thought I'd go through it and some of the modification I did. Um, on the lift, some of it I got from the internet, like these ramps right here. I saw another guy online who did it. I can't remember who it was, but I saw them do it about a year ago or so. Now, so what I did different is when I added the sides here for the ramps to assemble them, I took the end piece. See this piece right here? It used to be a bolt on here so that, you can hook it up on the back of your truck, whatever, and get your, your vehicle up there, your four-wheeler or whatever. Anyway, so I took them and clamped it together. Obviously, you can see how I got it clamped together there, and I put a piece of lumber between it and then this piece of wood under here. So what it does is it gives really good support, because if I don't have that and I put the bike up there, this right here, you can see down here, watch. See how it moves a lot? But I can get up on it even without the block. When I didn't have the block, I could stand on it, not a problem. I could stand on the other side. I don't put a block under that side. So both sides come off, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Well, wait, before I move away from there, I want to mention, see, right here, I need to move this bolt here back to that hole. The reason I do is because when I pull up on my bike, the kickstand goes there, and that's what that's for. And right now, when I pull up, it's hitting that bolt, so I got to move it back slightly. So once I switch the bolt holes around and move it to the back, I should be okay without an issue at all. So what I did here, the wheel clamp, the original wheel clamp, well, I got that sitting up here. And it's right up there. I don't even know why I'm keeping it. I should just throw that thing away, but I may need the metal, because that's what I kept these brackets for. I just kept them, and I ended up thinking about how to park my bike, and I used it, and it worked out fine. So I may use something off that tire bracket there. Anyways, I bought this. It was like 79 bucks off Harbor Freight. I had to go online to get it. They didn't have this at the store. But originally, you can see the 3 holes right here. This was moved over here at one time. And what was happening is I was pulling up. I mean, it was working good. The problem is you could see it was tearing up right here on the side, all the rubber. And I had to put washers and new screws and stuff in there to hold what rubber was left. But I widened it up, and when I tighten this up here, it still gets tight enough to hold my tire when I pull up, so it's nice. So, and it works out really well. And you can see here, obviously this comes off, and when I come up, the tire hits this, so I don't have to worry about going over the edge when I drive up on it. And you'll see that in the other clip that I attached to this one. And the nice thing too is I could pull my bike up here, and when I go to work on it, like I go to change a tire, I can use that little lift right there. You see that? I'll put it underneath the center of the bike, and I can lift it up, pull this off, and then I got enough room to take my tire on and off. When I had it right here, I did my tire change, and oh, it was tight getting my tire on and off, but I managed to do it. But this way is just going to be so much easier. So if you decide to do something like this, I recommend this, just opening it up and making it work, because it's so much better. Also, down here, I put the tape strips, that has the sand in it, whatever you want to call it, it grips. I was going to put it all the way up, but I really didn't need it all the way up. I just thought, why spend all that money? I kept what tape was left. I put it here and see how I checked it out to see how it would work, and it works out fine. So that's all I put on it. Well, I spend more money than I have to. This whole thing, I would say, probably cost about $550 altogether with everything, somewhere around there. I got the lift when it was on sale, Now, obviously, they're more expensive than they used to be way back. I think I paid $4 for it, $3.99 and $79 for that, and then the ramps. But look at the ramps. The distance is almost perfect to the edge. You know, there's just a little bit of distance. I mean, I literally could have moved them down here to the end, but I don't need anything here. I saw some guys put edges on. I mean, that's good for them if they like it, but I don't need it because by the time I get up, my feet are up here. But you can see, you know, I could stand on it right here. That's not a problem. You know, I could put all my weight, well, this side for sure, because I got the block under there. But let me pull it out and I'll show you. Now I'm going to be using one hand, so it's a little more difficult here. I'll pull this out. Okay, so that, you can see what I mean. If I put the bike leaning against it with the kickstand, this thing's going to put a lot of pressure on here. So that's why I made this just to slide underneath. Real simple. And another nice thing about this is that I could park my bike on it. That is the biggest thing. It doesn't take up as much space. Before, I'd have to push it to the side, drive my bike up, and you don't have a lot of room out of the passenger side of the car to get around in here. So this works out really well. I also have, I don't know if you can see it over there. I have another lift that I use. That one I bring out and I could lift it up and clean my bike. And if I'm doing a certain job to make it easier, I could just lift it up that way. But most of all, I just use this. I've taken my back tire off on this because this just comes right up. It doesn't slide on me. It's nice. It worked out well because once it's up in the air, you know, those bars aren't in the way. So anyway, so let me show you how I did them. All right, I did it in 3 spots. You can see these U clamps right here. It's just basically the same as that clamp that came with it. So I put one all the way down the line on each side, all the way across. And I could just pull this out. Now I'm using one hand, so it might be a little difficult here. Oh, quick and fast. Okay, so you can see I just cut the holes, measured them up where I wanted. I had to look underneath to make sure where I put these things so they wouldn't interfere. So you don't want to just lift it up and put them in. You got to do them from the bottom. When it's on the ground, you got to mark it, because if you don't, you may put it on, start putting it on, and then you'll see something's going to be in the way. So it's a good idea to do it that way. Is have it down, mark it, put them in like that. You know, and just do one side, see how it works for you. This one seems to work out well for me. So you can see the pieces of pipe I got, some galvanized plumbing, basically. Galvanized pipe, I bolted it in. I thought originally, I was gonna need 2, but I didn't, because all the leverage here, I don't need it. Once I bolted it down, it was enough. But one other thing I did, and I'll show you, is it's right under the edge here. I put a wood strip. And I think I could show you without having... You see that wood strip right there? Well, that right there gives you leverage. When the pipe goes through, it gives you leverage right here. So when you're hitting on it, it makes it so it doesn't bend down as much. So it works out really well. So this lift, yeah, I'd recommend getting it. The only thing is that my hydraulic pump on here for pumping it up, one of the seals was starting to leak, and you just can't go out and buy a new one. So from Harbor Freight, so I fixed it. Actually used one of their seals from their little package that they have, because they have the paperwork that comes with it, right? And it tells you where all the seals are on it. So I just looked at that and took it apart and fixed it. It works okay, but I want to put a pneumatic jack on it. I got an air compressor, and just make it easier, so I don't have to pump it up, just so it's fast and just to get it going. So anyways, I I'll be driving my bike up on it, and I'll have it all together there, and I'll show you what it looks like when I park it. This thing works out really well. And you know, one of the other things you see right here, I wanted to mention, see how you can crank it down right there? Well, it's worked out really well for me. I literally, what I did, there's a crack here. So I'm actually using it to my advantage, this crack in the concrete. And I put a coin or a washer, I don't know what I put there, but that's to help stop it also. So when I bring my bike up with the wheels, it doesn't slide at all. Because when you got that much weight, 800 pounds coming up against it, and if you hit up here on the edge, you know, in the front, so you don't go over the edge, you know, it may move a little bit, and it has. But once I did that with the coin, it seems to hold up pretty well. So that's one thing I really like about this thing, is that it was cheap, and I didn't have to spend $3,000 on a lift. I think that's the biggest thing. And I can work on my bike and enjoy doing it, you know, instead of having a hassle about everything, laying on my back. I could just lift it up and sit there, and it becomes more of an enjoyable thing, and I don't have to pay the dealer. That's the biggest thing, trying to avoid the dealer at all costs. And most of the things I'm doing, I look on YouTube. I mean, I did my own handlebars, took it apart. That I didn't look on YouTube for. But you know, some of the other things I'm going to do, I'm going to put my own new cams in it. And I just looked on YouTube how they're doing it. I'm getting all the tools, and it's not that hard to do. It's just a matter of knowing how to do it, right? So you guys can do all that stuff yourself. This is pretty simple too. Just cutting them up, putting them in there, drilling holes and bolting it in. Thing works great. All right, you can see how easy it is to get up there. You can just stand right on here. Yeah, it wobbles a little bit, but it's got enough to hold my weight. Just get up there like that, not a problem. Just roll it back. Okay, you see how it works? See, I just got to watch right here. I got to switch it around because there's some bolts down there. But it's great the way it works. Coming up by myself, I could just pull up, not a problem. One of the things is you can probably see the bolt here and here. Well, the bolt that's up here gets in the way, so I have to switch it to this hole right here. I'll switch it around, and then it won't be a problem. I could just pull straight up, and it won't be an issue at all. Also, I wanted to mention, if you saw one of my videos before, don't mind the bike, it's a little dirty. This is a Road King Classic, but I picked these bags up in Denver at Swap Meet. They have like the world largest one. It's in February every year. This last year it was pretty big. The year before sucked, but last year it was good, and hopefully this is going to be better, because I want to get a tour pack to put on the back here, hopefully with a rack, and I can click that on for the big rides. Also, I got leather bags here that go with it because of the Classic, and I might buy the leather tour pack. Also, should have picked it up last year. There was one, I should have grabbed it, but I didn't, like an idiot. But otherwise, this is great, especially now. I don't have to ask for help when I'm coming in. You know, I could just drive right in on my own without a problem, so it's really great. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and if you have any questions or stuff, just put it in the comments section, and I'll get back to you when I can. I'm kind of a procrastinator on stuff like this, so just be patient.